Okay, so welcome to today's video. The Mini engine's back in, it's all sprayed. We're just finalising getting the engine running before we put everything back together in case there's some problems or anything. I've wired up pretty much all the engine, got a couple of wires that I was struggling with. When I took it apart, I stupidly didn't label nothing and couldn't find which ones, because I got this wire that's got a black cable and I got these ones that are all brown. Check the Haynes manual, and the one I have doesn't seem to have a diagram for the 1275 SPI Cooper that I've got, or any SPI to be fair, that we could make out the wiring, make out what the where of the wires went or anything. So did a bit of looking into it, tried YouTube and couldn't find anything, so I thought now I've figured it out, I thought we might as well show a little video on where the wires go. So you've got these brown wires here that come from the main engine harness loom. That powers your dashboard and everything up, and obviously all the auxiliaries on the engine and stuff. This one here is just for your headlights and stuff, so that's to power your lights. So you've got your main battery wire coming from the back of the car to the front. This one runs under the car and then up to the starter and then down, obviously up into the battery. And the battery's earthed to the body of the car, which means your shell's an earth point. So any earths go to the body of the car. And then we've got this wire that comes out of the wiring loom, which I thought was alive at first, but because I figured that the engine would earth out everything on the engine, but it doesn't. This is actually an earth that we've just found out. So when I don't know if this is the right place where it goes, but this is where I found it sort of like lay the best and fitted. So it comes up, and I'm going to go to this bolt here. I'm just going to take it off, but it seems to reach quite well. I should have took pictures when I took it apart, but completely forgot. So I'll just get that connected now, and then we've got a couple of coil wires to go on, and it should start, we're hoping. Okay, so we've got the earth to the engine. It doesn't really matter where on the engine it goes, I just did it to use up the length of the wire that was already supplied with the loom. And then you've got these wires here that go up to the ignition coil itself. So you've got the brown wire goes to the bottom live peg, and the two black and white wires go on the same peg, but they have their own clip. You could loop them together if you wanted to make it look a bit tidier, but this is what we've got and that's what we're using. So you clip them two to there. All the HT leads are all attached in front, I believe, if I remember rightly. Oh, I've got this to connect back up as well, the vacuum for the ECU. Yeah. I believe we're nearly ready to give it a go. And that goes down here.
So the vacuum for the ECU goes to where?
It goes to a vacuum distributor on the manifold down the bottom. It's a bit awkward to see because they don't give you a great deal of room. I'm just trying to route it so it doesn't have to be rerouted again in a minute. So this little box here has a green port on the bottom. That's where this vacuum hose goes. I do remember that one. If it's wrong, it was because it was already wrong. Let's get that wire. It's a bit fiddly. There we go. So I believe now, let's just get it away from that exhaust manifold before it melts it. Go over the wiring loom and check everything's away from the exhaust manifold as well before we let it go back to the customer, or brother in this case. And that's the manifold pressure sensor wire there. I'm not worried about that at the minute, it should still run without that. It just clips onto the bottom of the intake manifold when it's on. So we'll give that a go. Yep. Little pressure switch is on. Just looking like we've got enough connected to get it to run, so hopefully let's start. Got ignition lights, hear the fuel pump going. piss my neighbours off. I'll get an exhaust on that before we leave it to run for too long, but it's a good sign that she starts, so we can crack on with getting everything back together now and sticking her up and putting the interior in and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of stuff to do. So thanks for watching, guys.